Welcome to Bluefill Boosting, where we turn your downtime into uptime. So we're going to another video on this channel, and we're talking about not playing nice. Why? Because there are a lot of people out there that don't play nice. They have no interest in you. They have no interest in layers. They have no interest in figuring out who you are. It's just simply when it's convenient for them. And that's not okay. It's not. I don't care who it is. It is not okay. You got to set boundaries and realize that time is the most valuable thing that there is out there. You can't get time back. So if someone continuously shows you that they don't care, for example, you say, I don't like when you touch my water bottle, right? I'm just making something up, but you tell them, and they continue to touch the water bottle. Now, you've said this before, and maybe they forgot, so you mention it again. And then they just do it again. Again, ridiculous example, but do they really respect you if they clearly heard you multiple times making the same point, and they just choose to not do it? It just doesn't make any sense, right? This also applies to companies. Sony wants to take away in the gaming space physical media. They're also actively taking away movie access. They promised some time ago that that was never going to happen, that you would always own it. Guess what? That's not the case no more. And it's going to get worse going into 2028, where you won't even be able to own physical media anymore. So fuck your ownership, actually. And while we're probably going more towards a digital future, they were the first ones to fire the shot. So maybe don't support that, right? Politicians. I'm not going to go too much into this, but like, are you still broke from like kind of trying to make it from day to day? Do you still feel like you're struggling? There are a lot of things they can do to make that not the case for not just yourself, but a bunch of people. Are they actively doing that? Are they making solid change? Or are they actually just being a grifter in chief and doing everything to serve themselves and not so much the people that you're supposed to be serving? Maybe don't support that. You have a place you like going out to eat, and they prove time and time again that your order's fucked up, right? You order the same thing. How can you possibly mess this up, right? Like, I've been here several times. You know exactly what I want. How'd you manage to screw this up? And that's a little more complex and maybe unfair to some people, but like, if it's over and over and over and over and over again, using a ridiculous example, what if you get pizza and you just randomly find onions in the pizza? You got a plain pizza. Why the fuck are there onions in there? And again, could be kitchen malfunction, maybe something just got tossed around and happened to be in there. If that happens several times, well, it might be time to fire them and move on, right? Don't be afraid to move on to bigger and better things when it's just simply not serving you. This works as well in the workplace. This is exceptionally important in the workplace. Boy, will people try to get away with murder if you do not put your foot down. Because people want a favor. Then they want another favor. Then they want another favor. And then they want another favor. And really all it is they're trying to duck the job that they're supposed to be fucking doing. Stop that shit. Say, I'm not available. Sorry, I have this other thing to do. Whatever excuse you want to come up with, or just a flat out hard boundary, depending on, how confrontational you want to be, or lack thereof, find some way to get out of that shit, because once you put yourself in it, you're never going to get out. They will take, and take. It doesn't stop. So you have to stop it. Whatever way you choose to do that is up to you, but you absolutely have to stop that. There's so much out there where we're various aspects of people just taking advantage. It doesn't make sense, right? It's not a trait of a good person or situation where you're just continuously being taken advantage of. No one wants to be taken advantage of. You want to respect people's times and themselves, really. So to continue to sit there and deal with these situations where you're just put under pressure, they're not hearing you, right? And it doesn't even have to be a situation. It could be something somebody says to you, like someone can pull an "I love you" out of their ass, right? If they're sitting there disrespecting you right after telling you that, like a day or two after, do they really care about you? Maybe it's time to leave, right? Maybe someone's got financial trouble. Someone's broke, but then 2 days later they're getting their nails done. That was going to come out different, but maybe that's happening, right? A lot of shit costs money. People claiming they're broke. Why are you going to a concert every week? I'm purposely avoiding Starbucks even though they're overpriced as shit. Because one, people might get butthurt, and two, I really don't think that's like, I don't want to open up the boomer argument where, just cut out your Starbucks and all of a sudden you're going to have money for shit when you're actually poor anyway. No. We don't give out outdated advice here. But it's an annoying trend, right? No one wants to be used. So if you have to actively avoid that shit and start seeing yourself out, and this could be in a lot of different cases, if you have to do that, do it. Absolutely do it. This could also be in smaller ways, and I think I mentioned this in the previous video, but like your phone, right? Your phone, by the companies who put them out, they're designed in such a way to keep you paying attention to it. So while there's no person directly doing that to you, it is designed to disrespect your time, and you have to take your time away from said thing in order to have freedom. It's very important. But the thing to remember, because after a while of doing this, you might feel lonely by yourself. I would argue that's the better call if you're cutting poison from your life, but the flip side of that is there are people who do care. So find your tribe, get a community, whether it's in a game or in person or just on the internet in general. Like, make smarter choices when you're going on the internet instead of like scrolling through several shorts until you realize several hours have passed by and you haven't done shit. Maybe find a community you can associate with while you're on there, so you build some meaningful connections, even if they are only online. But there are ways to do this in person too. So community is a big deal. You get like-minded individuals, or help, maybe even somebody you can learn from, right? Keep yourself away from people who actively think that gossip is like what people talk about, like on a consistent basis. Like, if that's the only thing you're talking about, if that's the basis of your relationship, I'm sorry, that's not a good relationship, one. And two, if you've stated that you don't like that and they just continue to do it anyway, fuck them. Fuck them. Not in the fun way either. Like, see ya. Go gossip with somebody else. What are we, in fucking high school? That's all I got for now. Maybe we'll go into some other outdated advice from the wonderful boomer generation. That's coming. I might want to script that one out, though, and not try to do that on the fly, because there's a lot we could hit there. But until next time, take care, everybody, and have yourselves a great 4th of July weekend if you are indeed celebrating it, because that's when I'm recording it. It probably won't be live until after the 4th of July. So I guess in that case, I hope you all did have a good 4th of July. And while I'd argue there's not much to celebrate in the current political climate, which I suppose is giving myself away, but fuck it. What I will say is hopefully you find ways to celebrate your personal independence and what life means to you without outside influence getting in the way or whatever other nonsense. Like, choose you and celebrate your own personal independence, possibly with your in-home family, whether that's a partner, whether that's with pets. Celebrate you, because you can choose to celebrate that any given day of the week. It doesn't matter what's going out there in the world that might be fucked up or not. You can always choose to celebrate you. Make this the excuse to give yourself that time and celebrate your own personal independence where you might not be doing so in a day-to-day life where you're trying to make ends meet. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Later.